A major debate has erupted across Indian universities following the implementation of the University Grants Commission's new regulations titled Promotion of Equity in Higher Education Institutions 2026. Notified on 13th January, these rules are aimed at ensuring social justice and inclusivity on campuses. However, they have also triggered strong resistance, particularly from students and groups belonging to the general category, who fear the regulations could be misused and harm their academic and professional futures. The UGC says the new framework is meant to address discrimination, bias, and exclusion in higher education institutions. Under the rules, universities are required to set up equity cells, take complaints related to discrimination seriously, and empower institutional authorities to take swift action to protect vulnerable students. But critics argue that the rules, in their current form, tilt the balance too far in one direction. The controversy intensified after protests in parts of Uttar Pradesh, including Jaunpur, where a social group called Dharm Raksha Andolan submitted a memorandum to the President of India demanding the withdrawal of the regulations. The organization described the rules as discriminatory and a threat to social harmony. Speaking to the media, the group's convener, Chandramani Pandey, claimed that the regulations grant unilateral and unlimited powers to institutions based on caste-related complaints. He raised serious concerns about due process, alleging that the complainant is not required to prove the accusation while there is no clear punishment if the complaint turns out to be false. According to the protesters, this creates an atmosphere of fear, especially among general category students who worry that anonymous or unverified allegations could derail their academic careers without adequate safeguards. Legal experts backing the protest argue that such provisions may violate the constitutional principle of equal opportunity and natural justice. They warn that instead of promoting harmony, the rules could deepen divisions on campuses and encourage caste-based conflict. On the other hand, supporters of the UGC's move say the backlash reflects discomfort with accountability. They argue that discrimination in higher education is real and deeply entrenched, and that strong institutional mechanisms are necessary to protect marginalized students who often hesitate to speak out. They point out that equity does not mean favoritism, but fairness, and that the intention of the regulations is corrective, not punitive. At the heart of the debate lies a critical question. Can equity be achieved without undermining equality? As universities begin implementing the new rules, the UGC faces mounting pressure to clarify safeguards, define checks and balances, and ensure that the fight against discrimination does not create new forms of injustice. For now, campuses remain divided, caught between the promise of social equity and fears of institutional overreach. How the government and UGC respond in the coming weeks may determine whether these regulations become a milestone for inclusion or a flashpoint for further conflict.